I just had a vision. I had visions, and I know that this is what the Lord wants me to say right now. In the vision, I saw a baby and I saw my son. Now, I was tossing and turning before I woke up, and I kept hearing something going off, and then saying people trying to do this, people trying to pull they doing wickedness, saying they were doing wickedness, but Jesus is involved. And I turn over again and say Jesus is involved. I turn over again, and it's like, yeah, they think they doing this, they doing wickedness, but Jesus is involved. And the voice was very angry at the stuff that they trying to pull us all in the vision. I was in this living room, and it was two adults, a woman and a man, sitting on this couch right there, and I was on this couch, and I had fell asleep and woke up, and they was supposed to be watching this little baby, I guess, babysitting, and I was like, where is the baby? And she was like, oh, like I had ran in the room and opened up the door, and there was a black man laying in the bed facing this direction, and underneath the covers he had a baby right there, and I snatched the covers back, and he had the baby down there by his genitals, and he had his boxer, he had his genitals out of his boxers, and he had a full erection, and he had something on it. And there was a child right there, and I snatched the baby up, and I picked the baby up real quick, like from him. I hurried and grabbed the baby from him, and he was an older, dark-skinned male, and he come out the room after me, I think, and I ran in the living room where those people was supposed to be watching the baby, and they had a sheet too, so they had a sheet on them. And when I asked them where the baby was, the baby was not in the sheet with them on the couch. And then I ran in the room and opened the door, and it was a black man under the sheet with the baby. And I was horrified, but I hurried and just grabbed the baby. And I knew that they was all child molesters. And I confronted the woman, and I said, you was supposed to be watching him. And then so I was trying to get out of the house with the baby, and something ended up happening where I had a little baby that was holding on to me that was a little older now, because at first it was like a newborn age. When they had the baby on the couch, it was like, a newborn, when they still got the little head and the hair slicked down, it was like newborn age. And almost, and he was trying to do that. He had the baby in the room, and they were trying to do that. And so I ended up with another baby, and seeing somebody holding this baby. It looked just like Melbourne, my son. His age looked just exactly like my son when he was a little tiny age, where you can hold him in your arms, and he got a little hair and a little outfit on, but still small, and he was holding my body, like hugging me while I was holding him, like you could feel the connection. And he would hold on to somebody like that because he was small, and this little baby was like that, small. And I was walking around with this little baby, and I was hurrying up, and then I ended up with this boy in my arms. He was my son, and he was like 4, 5 years old. He was long. He was a big boy, and he was my baby, my little yellow baby in my arm. He was asleep, and he was in my arms. I ain't felt my baby in my arms since they took me to jail for protecting me, myself, and him. And I had my boy in my arms, and he was asleep, and I was running with him. And I ran with him to the suitcase, and or something. I ended up, there was a vision of a suitcase, and I had the suitcase, and the suitcase, I was telling my sister was there. One of my sisters, I think it was my older sister, and I was like taking all their stuff, and I started dumping their stuff. Oh, God bless me. I started dumping their stuff in my suitcase, and I had emptied out their makeup stuff in my suitcase, everything. And I was like, come on, trying to hurry up and zip up the suitcase, like almost like I was like, you coming with me or something, I don't know. But I had got the suitcase, and I couldn't even damn near zip it up. And I was telling my sister, I was like, hurry up. It was purses, everything in this one suitcase. And then I realized she had a whole nother suitcase, little red suitcase, leather suitcase. And it was something, some stuff. And I was like, come on. I was like, damn, she got a whole nother bag. And I just got confused about the luggage at that point. God bless me. I was like, oh, damn the luggage, you know. And then I was telling my sister, I was like, come on, hurry up. You're not moving fast enough. And my baby daddy was still. And I had another little baby on my arm. God bless me. I had another baby on my arm. I had a little baby on my arm now. And I was running up out of this house, and I seen my wigs and my little red leather purse or a bag of red leather, because I don't know, I'm running, and I'm in like an apartment house, look like, and I'm running. And I come out as I'm coming out, my baby daddy was with me at some point, and he was walking with me, but urgently, like come on. And then I had the baby, and it was something like, oh, they finna try them. They gonna try them. They coming. They got the baby. Well, I had the baby, and he was walking with me, so it made it look like a family unit for a second. And there was nothing like, what can you say about two parents to make it look like they coming to get their child, period. And so, he wasn't talking, so I didn't know if he was on the same accord as me, but he was walking next to me for a second, and that's just what it made it look like while I was grabbing the baby. Like, who gonna say what? If he ain't saying nothing, what the fuck you gonna say? And so I had the baby and had baby stuff, and then I didn't see him no more, and I had this little baby in my arm, and I heard something like, they finna try to stop her, and they finna try to say she ain't got nowhere to go, and all that old kind of stuff. And then it was like, they think they gonna get away with molesting children, they gonna try to stop her, and it was like urgent, and it was something about Cynthia, and something about mobsters, and something about killers, and something about them thinking they gonna stop me from walking out with this baby. And then in whatever luggage or belongings that we have, like, I gotta explain something to these people, and they were pedophile, and they were like, oh, they in the coven. Like, yeah, they in the coven. They think that little coven gonna stop her from walking out with their baby. And because they little coven, and it was very serious about this coven, because they molest children, and they trying to steal my baby, or in the vision they were trying to steal my baby, and trying to have Cynthia O'Vera being in the coven, and there being child molesters in this coven, and trying to stop me from running out the apartment with this baby. And so I had a little baby. I ended up having a little baby, newborn baby. It looked like a boy or something, newborn baby. And I had this little thing where you can carry the baby on your back. And it was like one that I had when I had Melbourne. I had a black one, and he was a little bigger. He wasn't newborn size. He was a little bigger, and I was carrying him around in front of me with that. And he loved it, because I could walk around with him on there, and he just loved it. And so I had a red one in this vision, and it had these little checkers pillow things on there. And I had the baby on my back, and I was walking around trying to hurry up and get luggage and stuff together, and I had this little baby on my back. All of a sudden, I turned around, and my baby daddy was right there, but he didn't take the baby. I turned around, and the baby is gone off my back, y'all, and there is something they done left right there to try to make it seem like I wasn't gonna realize that the little newborn baby, like the little baby was gone off my back. And it was like a little older than newborn, like old enough to lift the head and stuff, but still newborn. And so I knew it was a baby on my back, so I go running like, hold on, somebody just snatched the baby. Like, we can still catch this motherfucker. And I seen a person running towards a hospital, and I think it was a white man or a black man at first. It was a black man, I don't know, white man involved. And I seen the person running, and they had a hospital gown on. Like, they tried to hurry up. They had on regular work clothes underneath, and then tried to, like navy blue pants, like navy blue khaki looking pants. And then there was a sheet in a hospital gown or something, and then you could see the baby silhouette behind the person's body while they trying to run with this little baby, newborn baby, hidden on their back. And other people ran after this man with me, and somebody picked up the man, and he fell, damn near like fell on the newborn baby. And it was something about baby body parts get hurt or could get hurt during this fall. And I didn't see the baby actually get hurt, but he fell and damn near fell on the baby trying to run and get away and getting tossed around and shit. And I saw a piece of paper with drawing on it, and it had body parts, baby eye, body part, baby different parts of the baby's inside, like organs and stuff, and could have got hurt or whatever they had this piece of paper for the organ for. And then somebody picked up this man, like they had got the baby, I guess, I don't know. They picked up this man and they slammed him down on this table on his belly. And it was a white man, and it had this little thing like when you on the operating table and you on your stomach and the face part is still out, and this white man looked familiar, like I seen him yesterday, came here right. That might not have been him, but they looked similar. And the man's face was hanging out like from the bottom of the table, and it looked like he did have on a hospital gown. And whoever slammed him down, his face was like, ah, and it turned red. And then the person started beating him, and beating the hell out of him in the back, like damn near crushing him in his organ, like could kill him as hard as they were beating him. And his eyes was like, ah, as he was getting beat. And he had something to do with trying to steal this newborn. And then so I ended up coming to this very rich house, mansion, like, but I went in the little room with my stuff and this little baby, and I had the baby, and I was like, no, I cannot let this baby out of my sight, because it was right after the little stealing of this baby. And so it was a little small baby, and the baby kept trying to crawl off. And so I had this little bitty tiny computer, like the little small one, little tiny one, and it was blue and white or something. And I opened up the computer and was like, psh, you know what I'm saying? Look at this. And I was hurrying up and getting luggage, and the little baby was at the little computer thing. And then so looked just like Melbourne, the age of my son. I mean, look exactly identical to my little boy. And I didn't see my baby daddy, didn't see nobody, it was just me and the baby. And I was trying to get some stuff together, and I opened up this little door, and my baby was going towards some little rocks. And it was little tiny rocks, like look like sea rocks, like kind of something you put in a fish bowl, but real rocks with the jagged edge. And I don't know where these rocks came from, but the baby could have ate one of them. And I was like, oh no, you know, and I went and grabbed the rocks, and I grabbed up the baby, and I looked at the baby head and got off the little residue of any of the little rock, and then I threw the rocks in this room. In this room, when I opened the door, it was a patio glass door, but when you open the room, it had a pool in there, and it was seawater pool, blue water, and it looked like it had some little seaweed in there, but it was pretty, and it had some leather furniture or something back there, like. So I don't know something, but I know I seen the blue pool, and I took the sea rocks and I threw the sea rocks in the water, but I saved one or two for the baby, and then I was like, here, throw the sea rock. I was like, come on, finna throw. And I threw it. I had made sure the baby wasn't gonna eat it, and the baby threw the rock in there. That's just like I did. You know how the baby want to do what you want to do when they do it just like you do it. And then so I ended up waking up, and I was like, okay, you know, I know God because there was another thing inside the vision that I missed out on. I went around the time that I went to get all of my stuff with, and I had said something to my sisters, and I had my little boy in my arms, long 4-year-old, 5-year-old little boy, and he was asleep in my arms, and I had went into this room, and I mean, my baby daddy was bald headed when I had went to get the boy, and they were trying to keep me out the house, and he disappeared. But then I had went in this room walking, and this white man, young white man, had my hand, and we was walking together in this room, and he was taller than me. I don't think it was my baby daddy. He was taller than I think he was tall. I don't remember, but he was taller than me, I think. And my baby daddy, he was a little taller than me, but I don't know, this young white man seemed a little taller, but not real tall, like, and he had on look nice clothes, and he had my hand, and his hair was like straight, kind of, sort of, and it was well kept, and we walked together holding hands. He took me by the hand, and he walked me into some room, and we walked past a whole bunch of white people, and I don't know what other kind of people in there, but I think it was some white people, and I think it had something to do with some law enforcement, and I heard like a sergeant or somebody, white man, say, I hate when people have interracial couples and they don't get along or they fighting and stuff, and we just walked right on past them, didn't listen to that. Like the Holy Spirit was like, oh, that's riffraff, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's riffraff. They ain't got nothing to do with nothing at this point right now or whatever, because she concerned about safety of her children or something. I don't know, but we walked past them, and people was trying to say something about interracial. Oh, I don't like when they get together and then all this crap, So we just walked past them and went into this little room. And I ended up with this little baby, and when at the end of the vision, and threw them rocks into the water. And the baby was right there on my arm, and all through this vision, they was trying to, up until the end, they was trying to fight me for this baby. They kept trying to steal it, and it was disappearing, and then ended up in my arm. And when I threw the rocks in the water, and the little baby took one of the rocks and threw the rock in there, and